Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, and evening to you, wherever in the world you are. Today, we are so very pleased for you to meet Tatiana. And
Hello.
she used to be from the Ukraine, and then in the midst of their difficulties in the country, she had to leave. And right now, she is in Greece, and where she is now, she's becoming, slowly setting down her roots, and she started to do art and exhibitions. So I will leave her to tell you the story of how she has journeyed through this mentoring program. So over to you, Tatiana.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And I will show you my screen and my presentation about me. Yeah, do you see it? Yeah, my art journey. Yeah, do you see it?
Yes, we see it. It's good.
Yeah. So here is a story about my art journey, about my life, and so on. And as you know, my name is Tatiana. I'm 43, 43 years old. And here you can see my family, my dear husband and my son and my maybe second kid, because he's always with me. Yeah, he's always with me. Yeah. And when I start talking about calligraphy, I always say that I've never dreamed of becoming a calligrapher. Since my childhood, I dreamed of being an artist. Yeah, it was my huge dream. But my parents had a different opinion, and the professional of an artist didn't seem serious for them. So they forced me to study finance. Yeah. Yeah. And after the graduating of the university, I worked in a banking area for more than 15 years. Yeah. And I made maybe a successful career. But during all this time, I never stopped drawing. I never stopped creating because it was a big part of me. Yeah. And during the day, I was a good girl in a bank, yeah. And when I have a free time, yeah, I made some custom illustrations. I even made handmade toys, yeah. I always wanted to create something. And one day I made an illustration and I needed to add text to this illustration, and I did it. And at that moment, I saw that my illustration was very beautiful, but my letters were terrible, extremely terrible. So I decided to take a couple of calligraphy lessons. I found a teacher. Yeah, here you can see her. And her name is Olga Vermenich. I came to her classes to take a couple of lessons, but I stayed for a couple of years. Yeah. And maybe the I main things that I appreciate her is not that she taught us rules of writing the letters. Yeah, it's very important, I know, but she taught us how to feel the letters, how to feel the soul of the letters. And it was much more important than any calligraphy rules. Yeah, because I can read a lot about calligraphy rules, but it's difficult to understand the soul of the letters. And she gave me this understanding. Yeah. And maybe the turning point of my career was in 2016. When I came to her classes, I was very nervous because I have very difficult project at my work. And she asked me, Tatiana, may I ask you, what are you doing in the bank? you are one of us, you are an artist. So, and it was so important for me. So a couple of months later, I left the bank and I opened my small art studio where I did some custom calligraphy, we did wall painting, and we did a lot of chalk lettering. I can show you. Pin, 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 pin. Yeah. Here you can see some sample of my works. Yeah. It was really nice. And I love all my clients, and I want to say thank you, because when you are a calligrapher and you write something at home without clients, it's one thing. When you have some tasks, when you do custom calligraphy, custom lettering, it forces you to find new ways, to express what you want to show. So it was a great experience for me. And then in 2019, surprisingly, I became a teacher, calligraphy teacher. If they told me that I would teach, I would say only one thing: never, 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 never. I didn't want to be a teacher at all, never. But never say never. So I was offered to teach calligraphy in an art school for adults. So the name of this art school in Kiev, Art House. And I came there and I really liked the place, I liked the people. So I answered yes. And students, they made my life complete. And I found the real pleasure sharing my knowledge. And I also studied with my students. Yeah. In our country, they say, if you want to learn something, teach someone else. Because when you teach someone else, you improve your skills, you you expand your knowledges, yeah, and it's a very interesting process for both sides, yeah, for children and for students and for teacher. So I became a teacher, and then in 2021, I had my first solo exhibition in my native town, Chernigov. Yeah, it was like something very special for me, and I never dreamt even about it. It was something more than I could imagine. Yeah, and after this exhibition, I had a lot of plans. I wanted to open my small calligraphy school or even art school for children, for adults. But you know that on 2022, the war had started, and our life will never be the same again. Yeah, I don't want to talk a lot about the war. In March 2022, I took my son, I took my dog, and I took a smaller backpack, and we moved to Poland to my dear friend Dominika Furgal, who is also a calligrapher. We met each other online on Yves Leterme online course about Trojans. And she had never seen me before, and she invited me to her place, and we came to her, and we stayed in Krakow during maybe 5 months, and in August we moved to Athens. Why Greece? Why Athens? Actually, my granny was from Greece. She was Greek. Yeah, and I have some relatives here, so I decided to move to Greece. Besides, it's very warm and beautiful country, so I decided to came here. Next month, we move from Athens to another town. It's a small town. It calls Loutraki. It's next to the sea. It's very beautiful and calm town. And I still live here and I still live here. And maybe I can say that I'm happy here. Maybe I need some quiet place to slow down, to find myself again. But 1 year ago, I was so depressed, and it was a very difficult time for me. So I was ready to give up calligraphy at all. Yeah. And Dorothy, you came to my life. Yeah, and you offered me to invite your art journey with Marina, and I didn't know how it would be, but I said yes, because I needed this helping hand just to find myself, just to change something. Yeah, so in March 2023, my calligraphy journey with Marina Soria began. And here we are. Now we have December, so the exhibition is opened. On our first lesson, Marina gave us a small task to write our goals. What we would like to reach during this mentorship. Okay, so my first goal is to find inspiration to practice calligraphy again. Yeah. The second one is go beyond the usual style. Learn to create more complex multi-level artworks, because my favorite at that moment, my favorite calligraphy style was Trajan's, Roman capitals. It was the most beautiful letters for me. Yeah, and when I try to draw something or write something, it's always were Roman's capital and Roman's capital. And I needed to change something. Yes, and of course the third goal was to make new friends, because I was here in a small Greek town all alone, and I needed to know that there is someone with the same problem or with the same interests who understands me. Yeah. Yes, and as a result of this art journey, I have 3 artworks. First one is the dance, the second is fairy tale, and the last one is a book about memories. Yeah. So let's start with the dance. Yeah. The idea of this artwork, one evening, I walked through old Greek tavern. It was evening, and there were no visitors. It was very old and unpretty tavern, so it was a usual situation for them without visitors. There was only an old lady, the owner of the tavern, with her family. The music was playing, and she was dancing. And then I will read it. With her eyes closed and her arms wide open, she danced a slow Greek dance. She was dancing like no one else was around. The dance was a part of her, and she was a part of the dance. Her movements were so natural and so sensitive. And even though her restaurant was old, Her outfit was worn out, and there were a lot of wrinkles on her face. At that moment, the 70-year-old lady was incredibly beautiful. She was enjoying her life. She was dancing. And let the whole world wait. So I was so impressed of this woman, and I even felt jealous, because never in my life I have been so confident in myself. I have never danced so free. Yeah. And then I thought about dancing, about calligraphy, and maybe the same problem I had in my calligraphy. I was so afraid to make mistakes, to write some letters in a wrong way, that I lost my freedom. And at the same time, our mentor Marina told us the same things. She told us about how to overcome those fears, to work with freedom, like no one see you. Yeah. And then I had a lot of failed sketches, and this is my first normal drawing with a proper mood. I did it because I wanted to create a proper mood for this artwork. Yeah. So I draw this woman and some text about dancing. Yeah. And then Marina told me, don't be obvious. If you want, for example, to create the impression of apple, don't draw an apple. Yeah, do something else. So I tried to recreate the silhouette of the dancing woman only with letters. Yeah, and the text here is of course, my own. Dance like no one is watching. Fall into the rhythm. Relax. Lose and find yourself in the music. Yeah, and then I took this sketch, and I took this dress, and I put these letters on the dress. Yeah, so here you can see the result. Yeah, I even danced a little bit for the presentation. You can see it on the website. Yeah, so it was my first artwork, and the second one is a fairy tale. It's a very interesting story about this fairy tale, because especially for this project, I wrote a small fairy tale about the beetle who lived in a forest. He was all alone and he liked the silence. And maybe it was very important for me to write this fairy tale, because I felt the same. I was this beetle who wanted to stay in a silence, who felt lonely, and who wanted to have his own home. Yeah. So I made a special box for this beetle. Yeah, it's like a book box. Yeah. I used papier-mâché to make the cover of this box. Yeah, I tried to make it look like wood. Yeah. Then I decorated with moss, with small branches, with pine cones. Yeah. And I wanted my beetle to feel comfortable in his own small house. Yeah. And I made this lettering. Yeah, you can see here lettering. Yeah, I wrote my fairy tales using those letters. And when Marina saw it, she told me, Tatiana, get out of the box. You can be a beautiful beetle without this box. So it was very hard decision for me, but I decided to refuse from the box. Yeah, in my work, it was too much of everything in one work. I combined a lot of things. Yeah, and it was too much. That's why I decided to leave only this pattern, letters pattern. Yeah. Uh, so I left only the letters. This letter pattern was inspired by pattern of the wood and the pattern on the wing of the bug. Yeah, and I add some colors. I wanted to add colors, so I used colors of autumn forest. Yeah. And here's the result. I redid it on canvas. It's quite big. And here you can see the final work and some details of letters. Yeah. So here, if you want to try, you can read my fairy tale about the bug. But maybe it's not the main point. Okay. And my third work, it's a metamorphosis of memory. During last time, I have been thinking a lot about memories, about how we remember something. And I understand that memories in our head are constantly changing. When our memories are fresh, we remember every detail very clear, very well. But over time, some of memories are erased. And the more time passes, the large past we just, I feel lack of the word. And every day we forget more and more and more. Yeah, but at the same time, we remember our emotions. Yeah, we always remember emotions. We don't remember how it was exactly, but we remember our emotions. And sometimes those emotions fill the gaps in our memory. And sometimes they draw a new sense. So I tried to show it in my work. Yeah. So it's an art book. So the first picture with the word memories when symbolizes when your memory are fresh, you remember everything clear and everything is understandable like those letters. Then the second one, some parts of the memory are missing. Yeah, time has passed and we lost something. Then even bigger, yeah, we lost more and more and more until maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On fifth picture, you can see only colors. Yeah, it's like our emotions. It's like our feelings. We don't remember events, but we remember feelings. And then our feelings and our brain trying to restore the memory. It's not perfect. Sometimes it changes. We can even made up new memories for ourselves. And sometimes our brain creates a new memory, yeah, and sometimes this memory are more beautiful than real facts. And we live with these beautiful memories. And it's wonderful, I think. Yeah. For example, I was thinking about my granny. I don't remember her voice. I don't remember her face very well. But I remember how nice she was, how she loved me. And according to these emotions, I create the image of my granny in my head. Maybe it's like something. Maybe she's perfect in my head. Yeah. Maybe she wasn't perfect in real life, but for me, she was perfect. So uh, here you can see my art book. It was the first art book I have ever made. Yeah, I wanted to try it, yes, and I did it. So maybe this is the end of my art journey. Yeah, it's more closer. Yes, and here is the end of my art journey, and it's time to say thank you for everyone. Thank you for Marina, for everything you taught us, everything you gave us. I remember you told us that you won't teach us how to write, how to draw. You will teach us the process. So thank you so much for teaching us the process. It was wonderful. And thank you, Dorothy, for your help. You really saved me as a calligrapher. And I'm very grateful for you. And thanks everyone who are here tonight. And of course, thank Janine and Natalie, who was my classmates during all this time. Yeah, it was a really pleasure to be with you in this group. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Tatiana. You did great. Marina, do you want to respond? Marina?
Hi. Well, it was a pleasure having Tatiana in the group. She's very talented. It was just a matter of making herself aware that she's an artist, or probably remembering, just like she said, remembering she was an artist, and for some time during the bank and during all the situations in her life, she had forgotten, and now she's back again in the group of Olga. So and she's a very hard worker. She's very committed. I was very very concerned at the beginning. I told Dorothy that I am a very empathic person, but I've never been in the situation that Tatiana is going through. So I was not sure if I would be able to help her, or I don't know. But she seems to be, although the things she has been going through, I think her heart or her soul is still untouched. So it was easy. It was easy to mentor her, and she's very open to feedback and even saying, although you have done this work and it is beautiful and it took you a long time and so on, you have to put it aside and keep on searching for something different or something bigger or something, or a detail of what you showed, because the Beatle book was great, but I thought It was more for a tale, story, fair, or it would be a great book for children, and to be edited, and to every library in a school would have one Beatle book. It would be great. So, and I really think that if she manages to keep on working with it, and not working with the object, because the object is already done, the book is done, and the story is in, and everything's there. But if she keeps on using her knowledges as a bank, as a bank business girl, then probably she will eventually have her book published. So I think she did a very good job, besides all the situations she has been going through. And at the same time, I think it was just like a good timing to do something like so personal, so traveling so deep into herself to find all the things she
Yeah, it's amazing.
can
Tatiana, you
remember.
are so resilient. Yeah,
Yeah.
you bounce back strong. You didn't let the situation take something away from you, but it added back into you. And I think that it multiplied when it did that. So I'm just very, very happy that you allowed yourself to come on this journey. So do any of your classmates, fellow mentees want to respond or say anything to Tatiana? Natalia, you want to go first? You need to unmute.
Natalie, we don't hear you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
I was writing on the chat. What I'm going to say now is that it's been really a pleasure to share this journey with you and with Marina and with Janine. Our stories are quite touching, and we had a lot of these sharing sessions about our feelings. And you did an amazing job, really. And I don't know where did you find that strength. And I can relate moving into a new country, not in your situation, but a different one. But I know how difficult it is to start from scratch, not knowing the language, and you have to really find those emotions and put them in your art. So it's just, I can relate to that. So that's why I'm wishing you all the best in your art journey.
Thank you so much. Actually, creating something always helps me to run away in my inner world. Yeah, and it helps me to cope with the situation. Actually, it's not always where you had found the forces. No, it helped me. It really helped me.
Yeah, I'm glad. Janine, do you want to respond?
Yes, so I just wanted to say that my comment might be something a little bit different in Tatiana from the beginning to the difference in Tatiana at the end. And that's not just about the artwork, that's about, I think, the journey maybe of not feeling so alone, not feeling so isolated. She's learning Greek now, and I think things in her life generally have moved on a lot in conjunction, in parallel with this art process. So it's sort of one almost moving in tandem with the other while she's trying to break out of the box, artistically speaking, but she was also, I think, breaking out of the box from a personal life perspective. And I think there's a vast difference in how you were at the beginning. And, we had similar sorts of feelings and sentiments going on, I think, and we shared quite a lot, just in chat messages and everything. But I think the biggest thing for me is just noticing the growth is not just in the art, the growth was in the person as well. and well done for getting through it. So you've got lots of languages in your belt now, and you've done a presentation in English as well. Congrats.
It was good. It was good. You know, I've been stalking your on because you shared with me your Facebook page where, you know, for the rest who don't know, this group has been keeping up with each other's progress on a Facebook page. And there's a lot going on where they post their progress pictures, they comment on each other, and they capture ideas like, oh, look, you know, I've got this thing for you. I saw this, it reminded me of you. And I thought that that was so marvelous, you know. And I also see Marina's input, you know, telling them to like, maybe you want to consider this, do you want to consider that? So I think that as a group, the synergy has been quite good. So initially, when I put the three of you ladies together, I kind of felt that you were all very strong in your own space. And either it was going to be very helpful or you might kill each other. Because you are so established, you know, you are women, very strong, strong-minded, strong-willed. But I'm just so grateful that, you know, in a way it has worked out for good because you ended up being very strong support for one another. And there was so much professional respect. So I just want to, you know, highlight and thank you all for that, for being a strong support to one another. And I knew that when I asked Marina to, you know, whether she would take on Tatiana, you know, I knew that Marina would be good for you because Marina is good for my heart. It's vitamins for my heart, you know. I just love to hear her talk about how to overcome your fear, how to break through, how to, you know, be confident. And I thought, yeah, this is what, you know, would be useful in a time of like sadness and depression when you just need to find your way forward. And of course, for future use, you know, not just for now. So Marina, thank you. You have been a great, great mentor. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah,
It's
good.
been my pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, do the rest of the people in the room want to have any comments or questions for Marina or for Tatiana or even Marina as the mentor? Susan is preparing to say something, I can see. Susan, let's hear
I
it.
know you always put me on the spot.
No, I see you're going to say something. Go ahead.
Your last piece evokes what I've studied with Marina with fabric texture designs. And so that influence, was it from that? How did you work to create that wonderful patterning of your letter forms? And did you make a new alphabet from it as well too?
I didn't create a new alphabet for this dress project because the main goal was to keep the silhouette of the woman, using the letters. So I didn't feel the need to create special letters. I needed to create a special forms, and actually it doesn't matter about what forms each letter has. Sorry for my English.
No, I understand. You're doing well.
Perfectly clear.
About the fabric, at first I wanted to make a music box and did something inside this music box. But we know the story about the boxes. And then I thought, oh, maybe I could make a dress. And then on the next session, Marina told us, don't you want to make a dress? Wow! If two people have the same thoughts about the dress, I think I really need to make this dress. So I did it.
Thank
So
you.
your letter forms evoke the fabric and the form, and you work with more decoration then as an expression. in your calligraphy?
I do not understand you correctly well.
Just like you can see your energy in your work. So it's looking like you take the material and that informs how
create
you.
an impression of being free. Yeah, that's why maybe I didn't create a special alphabet for this project, because I wanted to be free. Yeah, I want to write the letters A like this. Okay, I want to draw letter A like this. Okay, yeah, I wanted to be free. I wanted to show this expression on this dress. Yeah, in one hand it should be very gentle, but in other hand it should be free. Yeah, and free with energy, and energy is going up. Yeah, like this lady who is dancing. Yeah.
Those in your work.
You're muted, Dorothy.
Dorothy,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did
Dorothy's
get
on
the,
mute.
can you hear me now? Hello, can
Yeah.
you hear me? Yeah, okay. So I did get the feeling when I saw the dress that the idea of being very expressive rather than being very accurate towards the form. So I think, yeah, that's what that's what you were trying to do, right? To write expressively and to have that feeling of freedom in your letters, in the letter forms and energy. Yeah, so I did feel that. Yeah, thanks, Susan. It's a great question. Anybody
Complicated.
else? Yeah. Anyone else would? Yes. Anyone else has a question or comments? Let me see some of the comments. Thank you for wonderful sharing. Love all your works and the stories behind them. Thank you so much. I'm touched. Anne says, I'm touched by your story and journey. Your artwork is so personal and wonderful. Be proud. Yes. Roxana says, thank you for wonderful sharing. Oja says, beautiful presentation. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of thank yous. And Janine, you wanted to kill us for the time zone difference. Yes. I'm sorry.
And you remember in the beginning how hard it was. We couldn't get a time.
I know.
And all I was going was, I've got to be up at midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning. It's unbearable.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought, I'm too old to be up in the middle of the night and at 1 a.m.
Yeah, and it's because you're working like full time and then doing the projects and all that and having to get up. I'm so sorry. I will be more careful in future. But I think
Oh
that
no, no, you don't have to be careful. I'm just saying that because you were saying before you thought we might kill each other because we're all strong people. I'm just saying that's the only thing we were going to kill each other over was the time zone difference.
yeah, understood. Okay, my bonnet bee says she loves your insects. And I do.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
I found a real pleasure of making this bag from paper using a lot of details. Yeah, I
Yeah.
needed to do it just for myself. Yeah, maybe not for everyone else. Yeah, I needed at that time. I needed to do it for myself.
Yes, true. Yeah. So good. So good. Well, if there are no other questions, I'm going to stop the recording now, Tatiana. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
for
thank you,
sharing.
everyone.
Wonderful.